Hello.
Hey, how's it
Welcome
going,
to
Sarah?
Movies.
Welcome to Minute Movies. We are once again theme of the month. Rock.
Rock on, man.
Rock on. I got my rock art shirt on. Yeah, nice.
Ooh, nice. Got the rock art.
Yeah. What did it say? How's your fall been? Colorful?
Colorful, yeah.
Yeah. All the leaves falling already?
Yeah, they are. Starting to look like it's getting ready for winter out there.
Winter times. So this is our second to last screening of the year.
Yeah.
Cool beans. And we got a rockin' set of videos.
You know what? I just realized? I think we started in 2014. So next year is our 10 year.
10 year.
10 years of doing Minute Movies.
Wow.
Next year.
Amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
In March, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Wow. Have we gotten any better? I don't know. It's about the same.
About the same. I mean, maybe we should do something special for our 10-year year.
Nice.
So if anyone has any good ideas,
We should.
Could be fun to do something.
Probably pull off something live. Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely do something live for the sometime in the year. I'll have to plan a trip back to Seattle.
Let's see. We got a few people coming in.
A few people backstage, a few people in the comments here. So welcome to everyone. Anyone who I guess hasn't been here before and has no idea what we're talking about with this 10-year anniversary. Welcome to Minute Movies.
The fabulous Seattle Minute Movies. That's now
Seattle Minute Movies.
Yeah.
So every month, people make movies that are about a minute long, give or take. It's inspired by a one-word theme, and this month that word is rock. So we're gonna see some rockin' good films tonight.
And it's all free.
It's all free. Yep.
Yep. So, what do you say? Should we jump right into it?
Yeah, let's jump right in. We've got a great screening here. We have an intro film to kick us off.
Should I intro the intro?
Yeah.
So what we do, like ever since the first time, 10 years ago, we've been most of the time we took a little bit of break, but we do go out on the street and see what people think about the word, and get a sense of the vibe, what comes to mind, what is inspired by just a single word. See what people come up with, and so that's what I did. See if you can guess where this is. Yeah, right. So maybe.
All right. Well, here we go.
Rock? Like rocks? Rack on.
Think of it.
That's a guitar.
No, truly, when the first time I saw her play, I was like, this person's a rock star.
Unbreakable.
It's too bad rock's been dead for like half a century.
Rock is dead.
Not bad.
Brittle.
Eyes closed, let go.
Minerally, earthy, Beaujolais, Gamay Noir, wine. I mean,
Rock for president.
hey, rock and roll.
Do you smell what the rock is cooking?
I like that little puff puff on the pipe at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty impeccable. Well, not entirely impeccable. He was drunk, but
Were you at a rock concert doing that?
I was. Yeah, let's see. I bought as I do. I'm like buy vinyl whenever I can, and it was Smoky Bright at the Sunset. And I had to buy this. I had to buy this album because the first song on it is "Save Us." But yeah, they played that. So it was cool. You know how many rock song or just songs there are about Sarah? There's quite a few.
I bet there are.
So, speaking of rock and roll, is Dan around?
I don't see Dan yet.
Come on, Dan.
We do have Peter and Warner backstage, so we could kind of
Should
skip
we
along and come back to Dan if he pops in.
Dan if he shows up. Yeah.
And if
Okay,
he
we can do
can't
that.
make it tonight, then we'll
Then
just
we'll
watch it.
We'll just watch it. Yeah. Dan's always got his delightful.
Always
Right.
delightful.
Always delightful. Yeah. Should we jump to Peter? Is he
Yeah,
is he up?
he is backstage. I'm
Okay.
gonna bring you on screen, Peter.
Peter.
Howdy.
Sweet. Got your Christmas lights up.
Lights.
Did you ever take them down? Is it
No.
just like, no. Okay. So now they're appropriate again.
Yes. They've been recontextualized.
Bringing year-round cheer.
Nice. Yeah, I almost put mine back up, but didn't quite. Had to take a shower instead. So. So how are you doing this month, Peter?
Pretty good.
Yeah, we missed you.
Pretty
last
good.
week. We missed you. Not your film.
Yeah.
but
It was actually pretty cool. I was up at that Poulsbo Film Festival.
yeah.
And it's really small, but there were some. I was only there for the last day, which is when they screened my thing, and it was. There was some really, really interesting stuff.
Was it? Was there a theme to the festival?
No, I mean it's just what I've found is when they're choosing films, they kind of set up a flow, and I think they pick the films to fit what they're. I don't know. It's sort of a abstract concept of whatever they wanted to sort of unify the festival with.
That fits the vibe. It goes in.
Yeah. But it was what I did was I put 9 of my minute movies from this past year together.
Wow.
And just ran them all together.
Oh, cool.
And I had this big anxiety moment about whether I would take all the credits off of each one and then put all the credits at the end. Because then there would be more of a flow to. I mean, even though the films were different, they would merge together, and you wouldn't be distracted by the credits. And
Yeah.
I wound up just leaving them as it was, because a lot of times the credits become a part of what came before. A lot of times I'll have the music run into the credits,
Okay.
or an image will flow into the credits or something like that.
Right.
And it had the unintentional outcome of every time the credits came up, people would applaud.
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
and one of the guys that was, when we got up at the end to talk about him, one of the other guys that had put up had a film in said, "Well, you really milked the applause there by having all the credits." And I said, "I didn't mean to do that." But
It was like,
yeah.
sorry, not sorry.
right. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was some local filmmakers, a few that were out of state, and really small venues. Like there's a what was it called? It was like a Seaquarium Discovery Center kind of thing with a back room, and the screens were maybe, and there was another one in the basement of like a pub, and so the screens were maybe like 10 feet across,
Okay.
and small audio setups, and it was real intimate, and maybe 50, 60 people at the most watching them. So it was cool.
Cool.
But
So it wasn't just one theater, it was spread out a little bit.
they had 3 venues,
Okay.
and like I said, they weren't really theaters. They were just sort of spaces around town that people would run back and forth to. I mean, it's kind of like, I've been going to that Big Sky documentary festival in Missoula for the past couple of years. Well, not during the plague, but a couple of years before that. And they had the Wilma, and there's a Missoula Community Center and other art center, and the Elks meeting place, and there's a twinplex, and they're all within about maybe half a mile. But if I would sort of get their booklet and kind of plot which one I wanted to be at, and then you'd sort of have to, there are times that I'd have to leave and miss like the Q&A and run down the street through the snow and get in line to get into the next place. And it's sort of, it was kind of cool because you weren't sitting on your butt all day. You were actually getting some exercise between the screenings and stuff. So, but anyway,
Cool, man. So what you got for us tonight?
a little bit of island history.
Which
Right.
island?
Which island do you think?
Well, your island, but I
Yes.
know which island, but not
Vashon Island. Vashon Island.
So,
Yeah, it was, I think the idea came to me about halfway through the month, and I'd recalled that one of my friends who's an island historian had talked about some of the Native American rocks, just, there are all these, well, they call them erratics, these really big rocks that are just around. I mean, Vashon is, I think it's a terminal moraine. It's where the glacier stopped, and everything that was being carried and pushed sort of washed out. And the island is built up in layers and layers of meltwater and silt and rock and stuff. And I mean, that's why there's a great mystery about the aquifer system in the island, 'cause it's not like a big cave or something. It's all these little pockets that formed where water gathered. And you talk to some of the old well drillers who know pretty much on the island where the water spots are. But anyway, it's mostly small rocks, but occasionally there's big rocks, and there are a couple of big rocks along the shoreline. And the historian friend of mine told me a couple stories about the stories that the natives had told about those rocks, and that's kind of where this goes to.
Okay, right on. Should we take a look?
Sure. Some people call Vashon Island the Rock. But if you go down to where the island meets the Salish Sea, you can see it's just a pile of sand and gravel left from when the glacier stopped here years ago. There are rocks. Years ago, there were 2 rocks in outer Quartermaster Harbor. One was called the Killer Whale's Mother, where orcas had been known to play. The other was known as White Rock and was in the shape of a crouching woman. Both were blown to bits in 1918. One because it was supposedly a navigation hazard, and the pieces of the other were used to stabilize a bank in Tacoma. They were Indian rocks with stories. End of story.
Wow. Wow, that was I never knew that. It's a little tiny bit of, obviously, it's just something you wouldn't have known, but
Right.
the rocks aren't there now.
Well,
but,
right. Yeah, the rocks are gone and the stories are gone. So
except for they're immortalized now.
yeah, as long as this isn't on nitrate film or something.
Yeah, well, it's on YouTube. It's like forever.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
We're a
Lives
rock.
on Google's cloud forever and always.
Wow. Okay.
Cool. Yeah,
It
Warner
just, it's just kind of like,
said,
yeah, again, another story of like how disappointing the Caucasian, people who are very insensitive to locals. But interestingly enough, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, something like that. The J-Pod was in Quartermaster Harbor, and
It caused quite a ruckus out here.
yeah,
Lots of traffic jams of people driving up and down the island trying to follow them around and stuff. Yeah, it was
Wow.
amazing. They came up all the way into Burton, which they usually just go around the island. And
yeah,
but being in, I mean, that the whole Killer Whale's Mother thing has more credibility now that we've seen the orcas actually come into Quartermaster and know that they have did that in the past. And
yeah. I saw videos. They were like super close to shore.
Yeah.
Splashing around. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess most of the breaching happened down at Point Robinson on the outside,
Mm.
but on the inside near Jensen and stuff, they were mostly just swimming in groups.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, my mother used to have a place there on up near Burton.
ah,
A while back. Yeah. When Sarah was just a little kid. So
anyway,
cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I like the it's an interesting choice, to like the black and white and the soft focus.
that was a lot of the soft stuff was well, the beginning and the end image. I shot on a Blackmagic camera that I hadn't been using because the only way to use the footage was to run it through DaVinci Resolve,
Mm.
which I have, but there's so much learning curve involved in there with the node things and everything.
Mm. Yeah.
I've edited with it once, and that was a long time ago. And then I found this software that allowed you to download the footage and use it in Premiere. And so I thought, well, I'll try that. And then the lens is it's a company out of Portland called Lens Baby.
Oh, okay.
And if you there's a whole series, it's like a 28, a 56, and a 85 millimeter called Velvet. And if you crank the f-stop to all the way open, it's like putting Vaseline on the lens. It just makes it really fuzzy, and it also allows for some really cool effects with light. If you get backlight and stuff, it sends it into these little bubbles and bursts and stuff. And so I tried I think it was the 56 on the Blackmagic, and it came out really fuzzy and kind of flat. And so I started looking through some of the LUTs on Premiere, and there was an Airflex LUT, and I just hit that, and it pumped up the contrast and popped it all out. And oh, that's interesting.
Cool.
And then the other ones, the shots of the two, well, the illustrations of the Indian rocks, I had shot on my, I think it was with the 85, but I shot it with the DSLR on there. I actually used that for something else. I stole that footage from something I used a while back. And yeah, I just like how it sort of gets away from the real crisp, but it's still sharp. It sort of kind of goes both ways.
Yeah.
It's sharp if you look at it closely, but it's not if you step back, and also gives it kind of an old-timey look too, sort of bad old lens or something like that.
It's the way my eyesight's been going this year.
I can relate. I think I'm gonna have to get a new prescription for my glasses, because this eye is like,
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Tiny lens.
yeah, put a 56 here and a 28 here. And
Yeah. Ah, cool. I I'm glad I asked you about that. Lens Baby, yeah, they do like tilt shift lenses too, don't they?
They do all kinds of stuff. I mean, a lot of things with little weird effects that you can
Yeah.
put in front, like prisms and cutouts and stuff. And
Cool.
it's more than I want to add, but the Velvet series does that soft focus, and it's crazy too, because when you shut it down, you drop down the f-stops, it's actually a really sharp lens.
Huh.
Um,
So I wonder if you were to let the like gain or whatever, so, you know, if you had an ND filter or anyway, you could like cross them and maintain your exposure, but change.
well, I don't know if you remember the one the it was a minute movie I did for Invite. And I had an opening shot of these waves coming in, and I was using that lens to shoot that, and I had forgotten that if you crank it all the way open in bright light, there's no way to stop it down. So I had to crank the shutter speed way up. And as the wave curls over, it does these weird things where it comes in and then it shifts this way and
right.
it like falls on top. It looks like AI.
Yeah, I remember that.
But the shutter speed, it was the only way I could do it because I didn't bring like my neutral density filters along. But you really have to up the neutral density in bright light to compensate for not being able to stop down at all. So
yeah, that's why I got a variable ND filters with cross polarizers for that kind of thing. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Tricks of filmmaking.
All those intricacies.
Yeah. Cool beans. Well, yeah, good to see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Forward to
Thank
more
you.
films.
Enjoy your little commentary films. They're yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
You've been with us for all the 10 years. Well,
Yeah.
except for the
On and
dawn.
off. Not
Downfall in the
totally.
Yeah.
Not totally consistent, but
Yeah.
yeah, some of the early ones
Very
were
first-
more
You were there at the very first screening.
blue.
Lou.
Right, man.
All right. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We got Warner.
We got Warner next. Okay, I'm pulling you in, Warner.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, real good.
Oh, wow. 10 years. That's not too shabby.
I know, right?
Yeah. I want to say probably around 2016, I got on board. So, yeah, it's been quite a run.
Yeah. You've been around for quite a while.
A little
Yeah.
bit. Excellent, guys.
Yeah. So you involved in any film-related activities? Out where? What town are you in now?
I'm in the Chicago area.
Cool.
Yeah. So I
You're
got
like
a little
that-
bit involved. I've been here for a few years already. It's hard to believe. So, yeah, I got a little bit involved with some volunteer work with the Midwest Film Festival and with Cuff, Chicago Underground. And and then since then, I've been kind of just tinkering around with some of my own projects. So it's a little bit, there is certainly a community here, but it's not quite as pronounced, I would say, as Seattle. So there is one here, just a little bit, I would say, somewhat divided. Yeah, but they're working on it. There's an IFC group here, or pardon me, IFA Chicago, for which there's a chapter in LA and New York. and they've been doing a good job of, hosting panels and meet the filmmaker sessions and, filmmaker distribution events. And they're doing a holiday event coming up. So they've had some new leadership, and they're out at a campus, a filming facility at which they shoot like Chicago Fire. It's not bad. It's called Cinespace. So there is a little bit of the last couple of years, they've really been upticking the space here as far as Midwest-based film crews that aren't just brought in from LA for some of the shoots. But yeah, so I would say there's always going to be the media and advertising shoots here for Chicago. So that's consistent.
Sure. Yeah.
So
and then there's the Jimmy's, like he's working for what network is Jimmy working for?
Oh gosh, I think Jimmy, what did we call him? I think he's at KKN TV 5. Yeah, it's been a while. 9. Yeah, Jimmy's going to have to come back soon. He's been a little bit on a break, as you've noticed. So
little hiatus with Jimmy.
yes, we're going to have to bring him back into the fold, though. I'm getting ready to I think bring him back for a little bit. So, which is a great parlay, Stuart, to this chapter this week. So this month, because we'll be introducing a new character. So, and it was actually based, interestingly enough, on a buddy's voicemail, a real salesperson that had contacted one of my friends. So, through which this new character was born. So, with that, we can, I guess, roll that copy.
Right on.
Roll it.
Roll in.
You're done, right?
My name is Jared Smiggins, and I'd say in a given day I do about 100 calls. I get about 3 people online, and I close probably 2 collections a week.
I'm also known to be pretty cool around the office, too.
You guys did it for the online volleyball forum?
I'd like to think of myself as a rock star. I get the collections clear. And here's an example of one way that I go about and hold people accountable to when I'm setting up a meeting with them.
16th at 2:27 Eastern Time, you had hung up on me and sent me an email right after saying you were sorry to cut me off. It's because you were not going to be ready to discuss partnering until Q4 is what your email said. You said, I appreciate what you're trying to do. Won't be ready to discuss partnering with you until Q4. It's the first day of Q4. And I sent a reminder to you back when we discussed back in March for us to connect tomorrow. I will call you at that scheduled time. Looks like it's on your calendar. You haven't accepted it, assuming the time might not work for you. So if you need to pivot, not a problem. But again, wanted to make sure I stepped up at my end with this extremely important thing. My number is 5 hits. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just catching up with the collections, man, here, folks.
Reminds me a bit of Dwight.
He's a rock star, bro. He gets those collections in. So. But that's a real voice. So.
Yeah, he's on it, Yeah. First day of the quarter.
First day of the quarter.
I said I'd call you back, and it's the first day of the quarter, so it was gold. And interestingly,
haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah. Believe it or not, one of my earlier productions was also from this gentleman's voicemail, and I don't know if you remember it, but like one of my eyes was enlarged, and it was also from that same friend sourcing it. I mean, the voicemail. So, yeah,
got some interesting characters calling him.
A little bit. Yeah. But it was interesting to work on this Jared, personality. I had some other clips that I was going to use, like, I had him kind of close up staring at the camera, talking about how he gets people on the phone. I had him like talking like a lisp, and it was kind of going a little bit down, a little bit off on a rabbit's hole. So I kind of reeled it back to, I played it for a couple friends, and in terms of like, getting it back to the office, because I had him outside walking around, and it was a little bit disjointed. So after a couple takes, though, I think it makes sense when I say, like, this is an example of one of my calls, but I don't know if it was clear that was voicemail. Was it, I guess, or?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it sounded like voicemail. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that
But
was
we
one of-
couldn't, we couldn't hear all of it. It was just
yeah,
like,
of course.
Yeah.
I tightened it up. There was probably another 10 seconds or so, but I had to reel it in a little. So, but
Reel in the reality.
yeah, yeah. But I had fun.
I
with the green
want
screen.
to hear what he has to say more, though. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, this guy's got a rock star life, so. But I don't know.
Gets out of his cubicle occasionally.
Yeah, he's in the cubicle farm, so.
Yeah.
But enjoyed.
We've all been there.
That's right. So, but Jared Schmiggins is a cool guy, so give him a break, will you?
So which distorted filter were you using on him? It seemed pretty bright.
Sure. So I just used kind of a green screen background.
Okay.
And incidentally, I kind of did, this was kind of a cheat sheet, but I used one of the TikTok backgrounds and then kind of saved the video to my phone and then edited it, cropped it accordingly and brightened it a little. But I just, in the interest of time, I just use a TikTok. You can upload a background, which is how I've done it with some of my other clips, and then pulled the video and cropped it and then dumped it into my editing bay. So
cool.
Fun
but
stuff,
yeah,
man.
so that was your first Jared experience. So
Looking forward to more. Looking forward to Jared leaving Jimmy a voicemail and trying to.
well, now you're getting kind of
Over.
I like that. Yeah.
The Butansky
Yeah.
universe crossover.
Oh, that would be scary. And we'll bring in the generic man too. I need to do another generic man installment, but yeah. So
And then you get the rebels coming in, and
oh, I know. Yeah, it's been a while
Yeah.
since that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent, guys. Well, thanks.
well, thanks
All right,
so much, Warner.
Hey, I might got family out there. Sarah's like not too far from you, or her sister just moved to Chicago.
Yeah, my sister just moved to Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. What was it like a opportunity for her, or work, or just personal related?
Get out of Seattle.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Yeah, building up the heartland here.
So I'll have to look you up when I'm in town.
Yeah, that would be great, guys. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Grab coffee or something. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know.
All right. Yeah, good to see you, Warner.
Good to
All right,
see
guys. Thanks. You too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
And we'll have Jeff backstage. So I don't know if Dan will make it tonight. He didn't email me, but he's not here. So
I'm here. Okay.
Jeff, it's all you.
All me. All right. Hello, nice to be back in North America and everything. So the topic rock, I love rock and roll. And I've been trying to figure out how to do this piece. My brother, who created Nussbaum, those characters had drawings of him playing a guitar, and so I thought, I'll make puppets and do that. And I realized, like last week, that I just didn't have enough time to do it right, so I changed direction. And then I realized I thought maybe I'd do a little bit of a personal essay, kind of like the Night Shift one I did about working nights my entire career.
Yeah.
I could come up with a coherent script. And so I kind of did a stripped down version of what I was going to do with the drawings, but without any of the drawings. So my usual musical collaborator, had a piece of, well, you'll hear it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's watch it.
All right. Rock on.
Go.
Shell out of shape.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the audio sounded like on your end. It sounded a little bit, the levels kind of changed
Really?
on my end. So
Okay.
could be just my system, or just the signal tonight.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
it's kind of, Mark usually does a lot more jazzy kind of things, but that was a little bit of an industrial ministry clip he had hanging around. So I just,
Yeah.
you look at the waveform and it's just loud all the time, and I love it. So a lot of photos of shows I've been to over the years, including the first black and white photos my friend Pat Cantlin from 1979 on the drum set there. So music's been something I've always been able to go to and step away from the world with. And
Yeah.
so
Cool.
this one put together, and found a couple new tricks in Premiere that enabled the sequence of pictures to go by without having to put each one on timeline.
Okay.
So that was really nice to just put them all in a folder and just kind of arrange them in the order you want.
Right.
You push a little button and tell it how long you want each frame up for and what you want for the transition. And so I was happy I found that, because that would have been a real pain to drop each one of those down to get that kind of pace.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely done that manually before.
Yeah,
It's a pain.
Yeah, it is. But, I'm glad I found that, and yeah, it was a nice, I was able to put that together, and I started cutting it yesterday. So
Okay.
I couldn't come up with an idea that was doable or a script that was coherent. So
that was, how many bands were represented there?
There's like 80 something pictures in there, and there were probably 50, 55 different acts.
Wow.
Some of them like squirrels in the black tones popped up repeatedly. Some of them I had a couple, 3 pictures of, but yeah, I'd say about 50.
Cool.
And I also realized that I need to go through my filing system here, because that's also not as coherent as I thought it was. Because I wasn't able to find pictures I knew I have somewhere on this damn machine.
Oh yeah, God.
I just
Digital
got
archives.
more. Well, it needs to be done. I've been putting it off for far too long. I'm just going through and having more just the folder with the date of the pictures being taken, but more information. If you're dedicated, you can put metadata and just do your search in your graphic organizing program, and up they pop.
Right.
Yes, and I appreciate you taking my intros while I was overseas. So that was fun to go back the next day and watch the show.
Okay.
It was fun to have you, almost as if you were there with us.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, that was nice. It seemed like a good trip that you.
It was a wonderful trip. We just it's a retirement trip, so nothing really bad happened along the way. And we confirmed that even inexpensive wine in France is really good.
Yeah, French wine.
Yeah, and being able to stay in one city for almost a month was really nice. Just be able to get used to a pace and not always be rushing because you catch the train tomorrow, so I better go to the Louvre today, kind of thing. So it was nice to have that pace and that time to just relax and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Good.
7 World Cup rugby games, so it's a good trip.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, glad you're back.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to next month.
All right. Yeah.
See you next time.
Take care.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Play. You got one.
I got one.
Yeah.
Play mine and then play Dan's. At this point, I don't think he's gonna make it.
Seems like that. Yeah.
Which is too bad. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. All right.
Yeah, I guess we could just play mine and then play Dan's last.
Okay.
Mine is also a last minute one. It was thrown together. I decided that I needed to make a minute movie. And I had an idea for what I wanted to do for a minute movie.
You froze, Sarah.
Am I back? Are you back?
Uh,
Was I frozen or were you frozen?
You were frozen. Well, I don't know if I'm frozen or not, but it's working on my end for me, but you're frozen on my computer.
All right. Okay. I don't know if it's my internet or what is going on, but anyway, I guess let's just watch it then if it's my internet.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, here we go.
Here we go.
We're on the way to a wilderness lodge. It's myself and my 4 siblings, celebrating over 30 years of adventure together with a Colorado adventure of our own. We're 4 hours into our 6-hour drive, and now the last 2 hours, just a mere 8 miles away. We all plan to do the last 8 miles together in a rented 4x4 high clearance vehicle. They told us we needed this, yet we're in a Subaru Crosstrek and a luxury Audi SUV. I've never been on a road like that before. In fact, I just don't think it's actually classified as a road. Just a path through the flat top mountains, over 8,000 feet in elevation, that a few hundred lift-up pickup trucks and Jeeps had traveled before. The boulders were huge, but it started out manageable. Slowly creeping over rock after rock, navigating the bumps and boulders, stopping frequently to move a large rock out of the way or pile up a few rocks in a rut in an effort to not bottom out. About a quarter of the way in, we reach a gnarly-looking rock face, sloping down and off camber into a creek valley below. That was my first experience being the passenger in a 4-wheeled vehicle with only 2 of those wheels on the ground. We nearly flipped, rolled down the hill. It was terrifying. Then I got promoted to driver. After that, there were creek crossings and more rocks, endless rocks to move out of the way, and it was getting dark. In the end, we made it there safely, and the staff came out of the lodge to greet us. They laughed hysterically when they saw the 2 vehicles, one a Subaru Crosstrek and the other a luxury SUV, parked amongst the high clearance pickup trucks with huge tires. It was impressive that we made it there, and the next morning we traveled out on horseback to fly fish that beautiful area that is the flat top mountains of Colorado.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So brainstorming what to do. And I remembered that my husband took that trip with his siblings in September. And I was like, oh, you had that story of driving over all those rocks.
Yeah.
And so I took just the footage that they had shot while they were on their trip. Except most of them have iPhones, and I couldn't get the iPhone footage to work in Premiere.
Oh, really?
And because it was so last minute, I didn't have time to do more experimentation. But I don't know why it wouldn't work.
I use I shoot most of my stuff with an iPhone. I use DaVinci.
Oh,
It's kind of a trick to get it off the phone into the computer, though. So I use VLC on my phone and use Wi-Fi to transfer footage from my phone to the computer.
because even VLC on my computer wouldn't play. It would play the audio, but not the video. And anyway, there was some like really cool video of like the truck or the cars driving through creeks and stuff to get up the road. And
okay. So like, okay, so Warner's saying AirDrop to transfer videos to iMac. But
I had the videos, and I personally do not own any Apple products.
right. And so my computer is
footage from his iPhone.
So my computer is a PC, and it's always a challenge. It took me a while to figure out a reasonable way to get video and footage from my phone to my computer without using iTunes, just because iTunes is too intrusive. You know, I think it just takes over your whole file structure, and I don't like to use that. So, yeah, I put VLC on my phone, and then you move the pictures or videos into a folder that's on your phone that's separate from your photos folder. Move it onto a folder, and the VLC has its own folder. You put it in there and display the network, and it does Wi-Fi, and you have to put in the Wi-Fi number, which is like 192.168.17 or something like that, and you can just drop.
So what about when you have the video, like someone with an iPhone got the video off of their iPhone, put it into Google Drive, and then I downloaded it from Google Drive. So I have the video.
Oh, you have the video. Okay.
Like that wasn't the problem. The problem was the video wouldn't play in Premiere. It was just the audio that would come in Premiere. And I downloaded QuickTime, and that didn't solve the problem. And then I didn't have time to do more.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how to do it. Oh, I also tried using Media Encoder to change it from a .mov to a .mp4, and that didn't work either.
Okay.
So I tried two things, and neither of them worked. And I don't know why, because I think I've used footage from your iPhone and it's worked. And I don't know why I couldn't get any of the iPhone footage to work, but
it's frustrating. You'd think Apple and PCs would play better together, but they don't.
But you think Apple and Premiere would play better together?
Yeah. I'm using DaVinci Resolve, and it works. So.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. I'm not using Premiere anymore. So.
Well, maybe I'll figure it out later. Yeah.
Well,
I guess next up it's Dan.
Dan's delightful.
Delightful Dan.
The title of his is Karaoke Rock.
Roll right into it.
Yeah. Speaking of rock and roll.
I put the needle.
That wasn't very cringeworthy.
Looked like a fun time though.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I was just having this bad idea just 2 days ago that I was thinking, yeah, you should have a radio station that's just karaoke. You know, people singing karaoke. Yeah, probably not a very good idea, but some people do a really good job, and it's amazing to listen to, and most people don't.
Yep. Classic Delightful Dan.
Classic
Yep.
Delightful Dan. Yeah. So
Last karaoke I went to was for my sister's bachelorette party.
that was a little while ago.
It was a little while ago. It was fun though.
Yeah, I don't do. Yeah, I'm not much of a into karaoke.
Well, shall we watch them all again?
Yeah, we should roll it back to intro.
Yeah, we should. All right.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
You ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
Rock? Like rocks? Rack on.
Think of it.
You know.
That's a guitar.
No, truly, when the first time I saw her play, I was like, this person's a rock star.
Unbreakable.
It's too bad rock's been dead for like half a century.
Rock is dead.
Not bad.
Brittle.
Eyes closed, let go.
Merely earthy Beaujolais, Gamay Noir wine. I mean,
Rock for president.
Hey, rock and roll.
Do you smell what the rock is cooking?
Some people call Vashon Island the Rock. But if you go down to where the island meets the Salish Sea, you can see it's just a pile of sand and gravel left from when the glacier stopped here years ago. There are rocks. Years ago, there were 2 rocks in outer Quartermaster Harbor. One was called the Killer Whale's Mother, where orcas had been known to play. The other was known as White Rock and was in the shape of a crouching woman. Both were blown to bits in 1918. One because it was supposedly a navigation hazard, and the pieces of the other were used to stabilize a bank in Tacoma. They were Indian rocks with stories. End of story.
My name is Jerry Sminkins, and I'd say in a given day I do about 100 calls. I get about 3 people in line, and I close probably 2 collections a week.
I'm also known to be pretty cool around the office too.
You guys did it for the online volleyball forum?
I'd like to think of myself as a rock star. I get the collections cleared. And here's an example of one way that I go about and hold people accountable to when I'm setting up a meeting with them.
16th at 2:27 Eastern Time, you had hung up on me and sent me an email right after saying you were sorry to cut me off. It was because you were not going to be ready to discuss partnering until Q4 is what your email said. You said, I appreciate what you're trying to do. Won't be ready to discuss partnering with you until Q4. Today's the first day of Q4. And I sent a reminder to you back when we discussed back in March for us to connect tomorrow. I will call you at that scheduled time. Looks like it's on your calendar. You haven't accepted it, assuming the time might not work for you. So if you need to pivot, not a problem. But again, wanted to make sure I kept up on my end. It's extremely important to make my number 5 hits. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Go!
We're on the way to a wilderness lodge. It's myself and my 4 siblings, celebrating over 30 years of adventure together with a Colorado adventure of our own. We're 4 hours into our 6-hour drive, and now the last 2 hours, just a mere 8 miles away. We all plan to do the last 8 miles together in a rented 4x4 high clearance vehicle. They told us we needed this, yet we're in a Subaru Crosstrek and a luxury Audi SUV. I've never been on a road like that before. In fact, I just don't think it's actually classified as a road. Just a path through the flat top mountains, over 8,000 feet in elevation, that a few hundred lift-up pickup trucks and Jeeps had traveled before. The boulders were huge, but it started out manageable. Slowly creeping over rock after rock, navigating the bumps and boulders, stopping frequently to move a large rock out of the way or pile up a few rocks in a rut in an effort to not bottom out. About a quarter of the way in, we reach a gnarly looking rock face, sloping down and off camber into a creek valley below. That was my first experience being the passenger in a 4-wheeled vehicle with only 2 of those wheels on the ground. We nearly flipped, rolled down the hill. It was terrifying. Then I got promoted to driver. After that, there were creek crossings and more rocks, endless rocks to move out of the way, and it was getting dark. In the end, we made it there safely, and the staff came out of the lodge to greet us. They laughed hysterically when they saw the 2 vehicles, one a Subaru Crosstrek and the other a luxury SUV, parked amongst the high clearance pickup trucks with huge tires. It was impressive that we made it there. And the next morning, we traveled out on horseback to fly fish that beautiful area that is the flat top mountains of Colorado.
I put the needle.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jailhouse Rock. So, you ready for the word of the final month of the year?
I'm ready.
You ready? It's just adjusting the roll, rock and roll. So, should we do it? Should we do it? Let's
Do
jump right
it.
in.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. There she goes.
Contrast.
Contrast. Oh, okay.
Contrast.
Contrast. That's a good word.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what
Yes.
kind of contrasting ideas are presented to us.
The yin and the yang. The light and the dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
The racism. Yeah. Boys and girls. Yeah, there's a lot of contrast. Yeah.
Contrast.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for a
Yeah.
rocking good time.
Yeah, rocking good time. Thank you. And
See y'all next month.
see y'all next month. Yeah. Same time and place.
Same
All right.
time, same place. All right. Good night.
Good night.